Where did it all go wrong? How does something like game hunting, typically a joyous occasion, turn into something so cynical? Today I came face to face with the enemy, the destroyer of our digital dreams. And now that I know what I'm up against, I'm not sure this is a battle I can win. When the day started, I was feeling pretty optimistic. After all, I was going to be hunting for games in Akihabara, which is a lot like hunting for sand at the beach. They're all around you. You can't walk very far in any one direction without coming across a shop overflowing with games. It's almost too easy, or at least that's what I thought. And even though it was so hot and humid, I felt like I was boiling alive. I was in a great mood. Plus, today I was being joined by Dennis and Justin, two experienced game hunters in their own right, and with 3 pairs of eyes out there, I was sure we'd be able to spot any good deals and snatch up some great games. So we headed out into the city with one goal in mind: hit as many shops as possible and come home with our bags full. The first target on our list was the always popular Super Potato, located on a little back street but almost impossible to miss thanks to Mario and Pac-Man plastered on the outside. If there's one place in town that every hunter knows will have wall-to-wall games, it's Super Potato. When you get inside, there's something almost intoxicating about this place. There are so many games and so many consoles that you don't know where to begin. You know, they say Disney World is the happiest place on earth, but for retro gamers, I think it would look something a little more like Super Potato.
Biohazard 2. Capcom.
After spending what felt like hours combing through shelf after shelf of video games, we were finally satisfied and decided to move on to our next stop, a little shop called Beep just a few blocks away. If Super Potato is the place that all the gamers flock to, then Beep is the place that most of them miss. It's not the easiest shop to find, tucked away in a back alley basement, but once you do find it, you're glad you did. Beep is probably the smallest shop in town, so its supply of consoles and games is somewhat limited when compared to the others, but it does have a feather in its cap. If retro PCs and PC games are what you're hunting for, then this is the place you need to be, the only place you need to be.
攻略法が研究できる。X1G でアートする。グラフィックスを自在に処理するカラーイメージボード。リアルなサウンド、ステレオ FM 音源などオプションも多彩。話題のパソコン通信にも対応。X1 シリーズの高性能を受け継いだ X1G 新世代のパソコンテレビ X1G。
After finishing inside Beep, we decided we'd seen enough of games and boxes for the time being, and would rather actually play some games for a while. Luckily for us, arcades are even easier to find in Akihabara than game shops are. Most of them are at least 7 stories tall and lit up like a Christmas tree. With so many to choose from, it can be hard to make just one stop, but we settled on heading down to every gamer's favorite club. Club Sega is like something out of a gamer's wet dream. 8 floors of nothing but arcade games, and more UFO catchers than any one person has time to play. And it doesn't matter what kind of game you're looking for. If it belongs in an arcade, then chances are you can find it here. With plenty of change in our pockets and nothing but time on our hands, we dove right in.
Coming soon!
SNK
After we'd had our fill of fighters and shooters, and after spending way too much on UFO catchers and coming up empty-handed, we were back out into the summer heat to move on to our next destination, a shop on the main avenue affectionately referred to as the Dungeon. When you head down into the Retro Game Camp dungeon, you're hit with a similar, mystifying feeling that you get in Super Potato. There's just something about being surrounded by all those games that does something to your mind. It's almost overpowering, as though nothing else matters but the games. When faced with a stockpile like this, all you can do is jump in and start digging. As we left the dungeon, I was suddenly hit with a feeling of uneasiness, something I found hard to put my finger on. What was it about these shops that gave me this feeling? Then it dawned on me, something they all had in common. In each and every one, I came face to face with my nemesis, the dreaded glass case. And inside, the kinds of games that dreams are made of, held just out of reach. Not just by the glass barrier, but by the soul-crushing prices, the cases of broken digital dreams. And that's when I realized something else, something very alarming. I had thought all along that this was easy hunting, too easy, but now I know that I was the target all along. The shops are the traps, the games, the bait, and our obsessive collecting ways make us easy prey. We don't have to keep an eye out for the scalpers. They've been here a long time, in overwhelming numbers, hiding in plain sight. So when faced with this reality, what is one to do? The only thing you can do. Drown your sorrows at the A button. Then you get up the next day and start the whole thing all over again. Hoping for the best. Hoping that something changes. You tell yourself, forget it, Jim. It's Electric Town.